for joining us here at Straight to the Point. I'm your host, Dreesen, with my awesome co-host, JC, and we have a mission for you. Through style and pulp culture, Straight to the Point bridges knowledge with inspiration to bring wisdom to the hood. By strengthening our faith, uplifting one another, and educating each other, it allows us to move with purpose and create a future where dreams turn into reality.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
I love that. I never get tired of hearing that.
Yep. Thank you for joining us today. We're with an awesome, legendary guest. Guys, you guys won't even believe it. Santi from Jammin' 94.5.
Maybe it's because I'm half broken, but I don't know if I've ever considered myself as a legend, but I appreciate the intro.
You're a legend.
You got a lot of skin in the game, man.
Thank you. I do feel like I've been around a long time.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of people come and go. Had a lot of great experiences in just the media.
Yeah.
Just in life too, but at the same time. But legend, I don't know if I could say that, but I do really that means a lot. So thank you.
How about this? You're on your way.
I feel like I'm still on my way because I haven't accomplished really what I want to. But then again, I get to these certain points in life where I accomplish these certain things that I do want.
Yes.
But then I pivot and evolve the next goal. So I feel like I am at a point now where I'm getting ready to pivot. Again, but in a good way.
Yes.
So yeah.
Always looking to adapt, to level up, evolution, whatever it is.
Moving with time is so important.
Well, yeah.
People get stuck in time. And you're focused on moving with
Well, I think what I've experienced too in the media game is that people are afraid to evolve with the media landscape, and it's changing really fast. I think the best example is what you guys are doing here. Obviously, podcasting for us at one point was probably not what the business model was going to be in our business, but our company pivoted and doubled down on that, and I also believe too I need to follow suit. I need to go down that path, and I dove full into the digital landscape years ago, and it's benefited me now. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Love that. Awesome. So can you tell our viewers who is Santi? Talk to us. Give us some information.
Well, I think the biggest thing that I want to say here, just because we're here in Salem, is that I am a native of Salem, Mass.
Yes, guys. A native.
Did you know that?
From Salem, Massachusetts. All right? Anything you believe is possible. We have it right here.
Yeah, and I think being a minority here in Salem, as much of a diverse talent as it is, there are sometimes you're handcuffed in certain ways if you're Hispanic here.
Yes.
So you have to fight extra hard to kind of break those narratives, those stereotypes, the boxes that they put you in. But it definitely is possible, back to your point. But yes, I'm a native of Salem. Graduated from Salem High in 1998, which is a long time ago.
Salem High.
Then I went over to Endicott College, played baseball there for 4 years, and kind of found my way there. Found this other world of the accomplishment of anything that you set your mind to is really possible. Sounds cliche, it sounds really stupid, but it is so true. And I think again, going back to this city, which I love,
yes,
I was challenged in so many ways as a kid because I was Dominican.
Yes.
And the assumption was always oh, you're just a kid from the Point.
Yes.
Well, okay, let's back up. First of all, there's nothing wrong if you are a kid from the Point.
Nothing.
But there was always this negative feeling around it, and then I always had to explain, well, I don't live in the Point, but I am Dominican, and then that's put you in a different place, and then I was always fighting these stereotypes my entire life here.
Yes.
So yeah, and then I went to Endicott, got an internship when I was there with Jammin' 94.5, and literally worked there for 15 years. Started from the absolute bottom, made it up to co-host of the morning show, then got fired, which was not fun.
When was this?
2015, I was let go from Jammin' 94.5 because Ramiro, who now hosts the show on Hot 96.9, didn't want to sign his contract. So I think there was a belief behind the scenes that we were planning some big move to another radio station.
Okay.
So, and I had just signed a 3-year deal, which if you don't know this, contracts can be broken.
Yeah, whoa.
Or sometimes they just take you off there and they pay you while you're sitting at home, handcuffed.
Wow.
So after that, I went to go work for, before we get to the country station, that was when I found the digital world because I got let go, and I was always into video, and I loved video. If I could go back in time, I would probably be a filmmaker because that's my true passion.
Wow.
So I got into video, and then in that space, social media really started to blow up. And I started getting hit up by movie companies, Marvel, New Balance, to do these partnerships. So I just went in on all of that, but I also went in and learned so much about the social media game, the consulting game, the content game. All the while, like, I wasn't making money at that point with that type of stuff because it was so new, so I needed to go back to work. So I went to work at a country station, which didn't fit in. Great people there, but definitely was not where I needed to be. And then I was getting ready to quit radio and go all in on the content. And then Ashley, who now hosts the show that I'm on, she called me and said, listen, they're about to offer me the morning show host, but I'm not going to take it unless you agree to come co-host.
Real. Yo, shout out to Ashley. Wow.
And yes, and think about it like this. She asked me to come back to a situation that I was fired from. Right. To go work for the same boss that fired me. She convinced him to meet with me. Listen, that circumstance from before was not his thing. And the other part about this, too, which made it tougher, is that I had a podcast with Romero, and we did 2 episodes on why we got fired, and I said some things about my boss. Yeah. So I had to go there and kind of like tell him, listen, that came.
He's like, I made a mess.
I cleaned it up in the sense of like, listen, when that happened, I didn't know what was happening. I was looking for guidance, so that was nothing personal, and I kept it pretty clean. Romero, on the other hand, went in hard. I was pretty safe. So we had to meet about.
That's this guy. That's you.
So we had to meet and all this stuff. And so he brought me back in. He brought me back into a better situation than when he fired me from. And ever since then, I feel like I had a new viewpoint on life. And fast forward now, we're 5 years into the show. And I think the show, and I will own this, it's the best morning show in Boston.
It is
by far.
Yes, it is.
I watch this. I listen to your show every morning on my way to work.
Thank you.
Something I'm going to bring up later on, but I just love you guys.
And what we try to do is relate to the average person. Sometimes we say things that, like, from the outside, you're like, oh, why would they even mention that? But at the same time, it's like what people here are talking about. We're not above anybody else. We are just average and just having the same conversation that they're having out here. So, and now I'm here with you guys. So.
Yes, that's how we connect with the people. Wow, what an amazing story, man. Wow. That's crazy. The ups, the downs.
Yeah.
Wow. Gave us a lot in there. I like that.
Yes.
Listen, this brings me to my first question for you. So I was listening in around last week, I think it was, something really like, I was like, whoa. This is gonna be funny to ask him. Katie.
Oh.
Hacking into your Alexas at home?
Oh, so let me.
You got a stalker named Katie?
So, Katie.
Bro,
these women be crazy.
So, let me explain Katie. So, I first met Katie working at the country station. She's a massive country fan. And she started calling in one day and just has never stopped.
Wow.
But when I moved to Jammin, she followed me. Now, Katie, how old? I'm 45, so she's probably like. She's close to 50, and she has shown up at events with Jello shots in her pants. What? She sneaks into events. I have to kick her out. There was one time we were on the air, and I looked her like to my right. She's in the hallway. Now you have to get through 2 security doors to get into where the studios are. Yeah. I had to walk her outside and say, "Katie, you can't sneak into the building." She then peed outside in the parking lot.
Oh my God!
Katie is a really dedicated fan, but Katie calls every single day. And then one time, I'm at home, and all of a sudden, I hear her voice throughout my entire house.
No.
Somehow, Katie hacked into my home Alexa and was talking to everybody.
That's powerful.
Looking for me. Yeah. So,
hey, I wish to have fans like that.
What
you really don't.
IT degree does she have to be able to hack into the Alexa?
I don't know, but my wife is not a fan of Katie's. My wife that was when I blocked Katie for I think I blocked her for a year. Yeah. Then finally she begged me, can I unblock her? So I unblocked her, but then she started calling again, And Katie, it's not a funny story, but she had, I don't know what she had, but she was in a coma for 5 months.
5 months. I was listening, and Santi was dying, bro. I was like, I love that humor.
Yeah. Technically, she was in a coma for 5 months, but I know if I say on the air that she was in a coma for 3 years, it sets her off.
Of course.
And then she starts yelling at me through the radio. So when I said it that time when you were listening, I started laughing.
You were dying.
Yeah.
It was great. I was living it.
Yeah. So again, I don't want to call Katie a stalker, but she has stalker tendencies.
Yeah.
But she's nice and she means well. She just, gets a little
Such
insane.
a nice guy.
Right.
Yeah.
He said, she's not a stalker.
Yeah.
Really good storytelling. I love that. That was really funny, really
thank you.
entertaining the whole time.
Hilarious.
Yes. You've lived a life with a lot of memorable moments. What would you say is like your top 3 memorable moments in your career?
Top 3 is tough. I will give you my number 1.
Okay.
Yes,
Because
please.
I was 24 and just barely out of my internship at the radio station, and I was like working for nothing.
Right.
Excited before we got married and everything like that. So I was 24, and at this point, I started doing a lot of press junkets where they send you off to see a film in LA on a Friday night. Saturday, you interview all the people, and on Sunday, you fly back with all the audio. But they put you up in a 5-star hotel. It's amazing. So I started doing these things. I'm like, this is the best job ever. Then the summer of 2024 comes around, and the Summer Olympics are there, and they're coming to Athens, Greece. I didn't think anything of that until they came to me like, hey, would you want to go to the Olympics and cover the Olympics for the radio station? I'm like, wait, what? Me? Yeah. I'm like, of course. I'm getting like the tingles because it blew me away, and that was the first time that I flew first class international, which
Wow.
you're in a bed. You're in a lie flat bed.
Wow.
Flew to Athens, Greece, at the Olympics, 5-star hotel for a week, seeing all the events that people would give anything for,
Right.
broadcasting live. I felt like I was on the Today Show. It was a moment where, I remember, you know what the Parthenon is?
Yes.
I
Yes.
actually have it tattooed.
That's dope.
We went there one day, and I remember being taken aback by the emotion of just thinking back of how I got to this point. And I just sit down and look around and take this all in. I'm at the Parthenon at the Olympics in Athens, Greece. Wow. That was probably my favorite because at that point it motivated me so much to keep going.
Wow.
Again, wasn't making any money. The money was embarrassingly bad. Yeah. But that joy, that gave me just a big nugget to be keep going. This is the right path. So I'd probably say that's my favorite experience, overall, just because at that time I was so young, so hungry, and that meant the world to me. And I had a blast. I came home. I got so sick because I didn't sleep for a week. I didn't realize that in Athens, they leave the hotel at midnight, you get to the club around 1 o'clock, and you party till 5 a.m.
Whoa. They were different.
Wild. I had the best time. It was crazy. And then that was my first introduction to Europeans.
Yeah.
I'm like, they're different. The women, oh my God.
I heard stories.
It was amazing. And I don't know if people know this, in a lot of countries over there, if your skin's darker, you're a hit.
Wow.
So that was a whole other thing, yeah.
You like being
black in Japan.
Or being light skinned in DR.
It's like being black in Japan.
Yeah, it was oh my God. So yeah, that was amazing. That blew my mind away. And because of that, now to this day, I love going to Europe. It's my favorite place to travel. We've been back 6 different times because it's that amazing.
Wow.
It also made me think of how big the world is and all the possibilities that anybody could have. Again, just a kid from Salem who immigrated here when he was very young, who has a speech impediment, but somehow is making money speaking and going overseas. So those two ends of the book there was what blew me away.
That's a beautiful moment, man. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yes, sir. Any interesting celebrity stories you got? Who's one of your favorite celebrities' memories?
Oh well, you guys know who Kiefer Sutherland is?
Yes.
You guys are
Sutherland.
Yes. Country music.
Yeah, but
Okay,
you know
you
what?
lost me there, guys.
He was actually an actor, and he used to be on this show called 24, which was a big hit in the early 2000s.
Yes,
He was big in the
I remember the commercial
80s.
all the time.
Great guy. We had a crazy night, and Polly were drinking. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I was smoking with him, and this.
I mean,
and that.
if he asks you, you're gonna be like, I'll take it, whatever. Like what?
I remember leaving the nightclub because it was time for me to go, and the paparazzi were there, and the paparazzi. I'm like, oh, who's still inside? Well, Kiefer's about to come outside. That was the night he got a DUI, and the paparazzi caught it on camera because I told them that he was still inside. But it's more so the experiences and the conversation with them that I do appreciate, because I think you realize that they're just like us. There are ones that are insane, there are ones that are stupid, but there are ones who are really down to earth and don't give a shit about all the fame.
Exactly.
So yeah, but I mean, you would have to ask me specifics.
Yeah.
But I I like more of the experiences versus meeting like all these famous people. Because for me, like,
Right.
it doesn't matter, like anymore.
You've been around a lot of different types of people. It's
Yeah,
like, it's
I
normal
mean,
to you.
I remember, and I had this. Obviously, my views have changed now, but I've seen Diddy many times backstage being the CEO Diddy, the one that was like, wow, that guy, like,
Not the diddler?
Not the diddler.
Not the
No. But in retrospect, I'm like, damn, he was freaking off then too. But no, seeing him on the phone and being the guy that you always heard about, but like the mogul type and handling everything. I remember being in a room and watching Kanye West come into a room and go around the room and ask what everybody's position was and what their job was. Not because he's being insane, just because he's so tapped into everybody's job. It was like I was blown away by that.
Wow.
I've seen people act crazy at times too, but it's just...
Give me one crazy guy. One crazy guy. Just one. It's okay.
I mean, there's a Little Wayne one where he didn't want to come in and perform at the concert because one of the guys had like a gun and he refused. So he walked away from $300K that night just like that.
Wow.
Because they didn't let him bring his pistol in the club?
Like that.
On the spot? Yeah, that's crazy.
And this was right into the garden. Wow. Walked away from $300K like it was nothing.
Wow, I couldn't do
Yeah.
that.
Must be nice.
Put the guns away. I'll put the guns away.
Yeah.
Very easily.
I don't need this.
I feel like it's like the ego thing that sometimes gets to like the stars.
Or
and
the
stuff.
paranoia thing. I think there's a lot of paranoia that
Or
comes
that.
along with being an artist.
Yeah.
You know, you get caught up in the whole craziness and madness of it.
Yeah.
You think that you got to protect yourself all the time or people are out to get you.
Yeah.
That is true. That is very true.
Rich people get abducted all the time.
What?
Think about it.
What?
Of course, man.
Well, I mean, they get kind of like controlled by like other things.
I say that you're more prone to be abducted. Of course, if you have money, you can for ransom. Hey, you gotta give me. I got Lil Wayne.
I got Weezy F, baby.
Yeah, send me $500,000. I would understand the paranoia for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But in certain situations, like if you're in the garden, probably a good chance nobody's going to come up like backstage. But again, but I don't know.
In the garden.
That's my perspective, so I don't know.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that. You also have a book named A Guide to Starting a Podcast, Everything You Need to Know. What are some don'ts in the podcast game? What would you recommend to me and JC starting up right now?
The biggest thing I would tell you guys is be yourself. Double down on your personalities. I feel like I do a lot of consulting in this world. I run into too many people trying to be Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Trying to speak like XYZ, right?
Right.
I would double down on who you guys are as people and tap into that. Because, like, obviously, like, if you're going to be a carbon copy of somebody else, you're being fake, and then people are going to be able to feel that. Right? If you're yourself, they're going to know that, and that's going to connect so much more. So that's always what I tell people. Be yourself. Be yourself. And this is coming from a person who, like, spent years trying to be somebody that they are not. Once I laid into who I was as a person, that's when I felt like my career started to change, and also when I started to have fun. Right. Like I have a speech impediment, right? I have one. I tried to avoid it so much, and when it would come out on the air, it would mess my day up. Finally, I'm like, what am I doing? It is who I am, and I got to this point, so it's fine.
Right.
So then I talk about it, and then it's okay. Yeah. So I think that's an example. Be yourselves, and now and I scream that. Just be you.
I feel like that's one of our core values that we talked about when we started making this podcast.
So we promised to be ourselves and double down on that. Like, that brings me to my next question for you. Being yourself, how'd you get with this nickname, Crazy Kulo?
I actually hated that name.
Don't tell me you be shaking it.
No, I hated that name, but we were going through a change in character.
Yes.
And they wanted me to go do stunts on the street, so they wanted like a crazy persona. And this was when radio you could have like a fake name and be a person that you kind of aren't. Now you can't. Now you have to be yourself. Yeah. So at the time, the Pitbull song was big. Cooler.
Okay.
So I think it was Ramiro was like, hey, why don't we name you this? I'm like, okay. And I was still young, so I didn't know how to like fight it.
Right.
Or even fight it and be like, listen, let's not do that. Let's just use my name and I'll turn up the personality more. That's what I would probably say now. So I was like, okay, so the decision was actually made for me by him and my other boss, and I hated it. I always felt like I was acting. I always felt like it wasn't me.
Wow.
You were given that nickname.
I was given it.
Yeah.
I hate it. But I did use that to parlay it into like at some point being myself more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I used to go on the street and do crazy things, and I had fun with that part of it, but I didn't like the name at all. At all.
So that transition. So when you come out with that type of persona, right? How hard was it to transition to like the more serious, like the more real you, being more genuine? How did that go?
It took months to even like for people to get the name change.
Right.
So you just do it like over time, and it's a constant reminder of using names. Like people would say my name on the air so often. Like first it was together, then you started to fade the other one away. So it was like annoying.
Wow.
So it takes a lot of
Months.
time, months, maybe even like 6 months.
Wow.
And people still bring it up now on the air, and it's a funny thing now, but
Like it's a funny memory.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a fun fact for me to find out because we of course we did
If
some
you
research,
look on the
and
internet-
I found out that was your nickname. I'm like, fool, why?
if you look, there's still videos out there, some of my old stunts.
Yeah.
I will say, if I was doing stunts with the video power that's out now, back then, it would have been amazing.
Yeah, it would have blown up something crazy. Everybody loves that type of content.
Yeah,
nowadays.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why we try for our podcast and stuff like that. We try to have the balance of both of those. Like we have me and JC doing the podcast, and then we have some of our boys, Miz and Lubal, doing the rated R stuff.
Yeah, outside, getting a little crazy.
Yeah, which I've seen.
Yes, sir. Love
Definitely
to hear
fun.
it. Love to hear it. Yo, you hungry?
Hell yeah.
Yo, we better head to Mino's Roast Beef in Marblehead.
yeah.
The address is 27 Atlantic Avenue, Marblehead, Massachusetts. Phone number 781-631-7228. Don't confuse them with the Lynn location. This is the OG Marblehead spot. Family owned and proudly serving the community for over 10 years, Mino's Roast Beef has it all.
They got the best pastas,
Crisp salads.
the best hot pizzas.
Yes, calzones and subs galore, hot or cold. But if you're coming through, you need to try the roast beef sandwiches.
The best in town.
It's what they're known for. Juicy, stacked, and made just right. Call ahead or stop by. Your taste buds will thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, sir. Thank you for being our sponsor today, Mino's Roast Beef.
Thank you, Minos.
Yes, sir. Yo, but 50 Cent is the biggest antagonist, no?
Yeah.
Like, he's crazy. Father's Day just happened. Shout out to both of y'all are fathers
Thank you,
too,
thank
right? And he was having beef with his son on Instagram on Father's Day, like giving them crazy posts and things like that. His son was talking smack about him, like, oh, what are the chances that 50 is gonna post me or something like that? And then 50 Cent obviously clapped back. But having 50 Cent as your enemy must suck.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's either a mastermind or marketing, or
It's all of that.
this guy is just insane.
Yeah.
I think he's crazy for half of the things he puts out there.
I have a few stories about him.
Yeah.
I will say the first thing about him that is he's the best interview you'll ever have. If you guys ever get a chance to interview him, because you can ask him anything and he will answer it.
Yeah.
And he'll do whatever. Like he's so professional when it comes to that. Understands marketing, the business like you won't believe. In 2000 and you remember he came out with the movie Get Rich or Die Trying?
Yes.
When he came out with that film, he flew a bunch of us out to Vegas to watch the movie, do some interviews.
That's a great movie.
Have a party, and then the after party was at the Crazy Horse 2. Now, if you don't know, it's a strip club in Vegas.
No, not at all.
Everything was free.
Oh,
Everything was free. And I mean, he's sitting in the middle, handing out bills to everybody. It was greatest time. I had one of my boys there too. Flew him out to Vegas. Some Asian stripper took all his money. Still in love with that girl.
Wow.
But yeah.
Can't let go
Never
of that.
fall in love with a stripper.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so,
never.
but he just understands that part. So we all went back talking about how an amazing time we had. But what he was doing is planting the seed for us to go talk about this on the air, but then also promote the film at the same time.
Wow.
So you see, he threw the best party we've ever been to, but it was all for that.
Next level stuff. He set it up.
He set up a viral moment before it was viral, but really just on the radios when radio was still dominating.
Yes.
So yeah.
Wow.
Wow. That's a nice story.
Yeah.
That's a really cool story.
Yeah.
Another Father's Day situation is DDG was talking about how his girl took their son like away from him for Father's Day, and he wasn't able to spend time with his kid. But he said himself that him having all this money makes the situation like less hurtful. What do you guys feel about that? How do you guys feel about that?
I can't relate.
Right.
Because-
I don't have a child, but I think I couldn't relate to like
I
family
can't
time
re-
compared to that.
You as a father, I believe that you have to set the example,
Yeah.
and you have to make your boundaries very clear when it comes to loving your kid and them being a priority. Like my kids are above my job, my kids are above anything that you could ever imagine. I put myself before my kids any day. So like for him to even insinuate money and his kids in the same sentence, he is another guy looking for the wrong attention in my world.
Yeah, and the biggest thing about that is this is all playing on social. Someday his kids are going to read about this. Like, I would just appreciate if they would communicate this, like, off of social, off of Instagram, and just pick up the phone and talk to each other. That's the biggest thing about him that I'm, like, not liking.
Right. Yeah, he's fishing for attention. I'll tell you that much. He's looking for pity, and nobody's giving it to him. And I think there's a reason why. I think people are not stupid.
Right. Right.
People can put two and two together. Like even the most.
He's just faking it, faking the funk, and causing kind of drama.
As a father, as a full-time father, I have time for the things that I have time for, but my time is always limited. Because my kids, I have to go see my kids. I can't never put anything before my kids. Anything that's putting food on the table is a priority because I got to make sure they're good and they're set. But besides that, they come first. I'm not gonna use them as tools or pawns in my life.
To that, brother. Amen to that. We got a couple shoe releases coming out in July. We have the Air Jordan 3s Pure Money. We also have on July 12th, Air Jordan Shattered Backboard, the ones. Those are crazy. I love those a lot. And then we have one of my favorites of all time, July 19th. We have the Aqua 8s. Bro, I never got those as a kid. I need those in my life. Are you into sneakers? You like sneakers?
I'm into certain ones. I'm into sneakers that look good with certain outfits. Yeah. So I do like the Jordans. I'm a big fan of the Jordan 1s.
Yes.
But I think those are the only ones, and the Jordan 3 is the only ones I really can like fit into without like looking like a poser.
Those are two good
those
silhouettes. I like the ones. I like the 3s. Those are nice.
Those are like grown pairs.
Yes, but stuff that I can still wear with like trendier, like 40-year-old fashion.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes. So that's funny because I was thinking about that the other day. As I get older, do I look crazy wearing Jordans? Like if I'm like 35 and I wear like the 5s?
No.
Do I look weird?
No, I think it all depends on who you are as a person. Like, I couldn't pull it off because I don't like. That's not me.
Yeah.
But I think you definitely could. And I think it all depends on the individual. Like, I dress a certain way, you dress a certain way, you know what I mean? So it all depends. So
that's
as we're in the sticker topic, I would love to ask about how did your partnership with New Balance come about? How do you feel that connection with them?
I see you with some New Balance on today too, right?
Yeah.
New Balance on.
He's rapping. That came along because I had put on weight during it was before the pandemic, and then I wanted to get back into running again. Yeah. So I signed up for the New York City Marathon, and I knew a contact at New Balance, and initially I was like, hey, I'm running the marathon, and I know back in the day when I ran Chicago in 2009, they sent me a bunch of stuff. Right. So I was literally just like, hey, could you send me some clothes? Because I'm doing like the marathon. They're like, wait a second, we sponsor that. Let me hook you up with a running coach, all these other things that went along with like just the marathon. And then they weren't looking for anything, but then I came back with them and I was like, why don't I just post content and make content around the running and just tag New Balance the entire time? Wow. So we did that for that marathon. They paid for my hotel.
Nice.
Before the marathon, they sent me this massive box. They were boxed, but the one before the marathon, I still have clothes from that box that I haven't worn. There was so much stuff in there. So nice. The next 2 years, I was like, all right, this feels good. So I kept going back with them and saying, hey, let's do this. Finally got to a point where I was pitching them ideas and pitching them decks. Like, all right, so for this marathon, let's do a content series on where I interview a bunch of the people around the runners and all that stuff. So they would fly me to these events. I would do interviews and then just run the marathons.
That's awesome.
So the point is, I guess, it's like that partnership only worked because it works both sides. I think I come across too many people who try to just take without thinking like, what can they benefit?
That's true.
So
So it was a win-win situation.
Yeah. And like for them, I have to imagine that sending over like 10 pairs of shoes and, I don't know, 10 outfits must be nothing.
Right.
So, and I realized, but let me pay that back because for me, it's amazing. Yeah. So, but then the partnership has evolved and all that stuff. So, but they're a great company to work for. They don't ever give me like any direction on content.
They just let you rock.
And they are truly like family. Yeah, like I've gone down and they rent a house down the Cape for like a certain race, and I've hung out with them all, with all the executives. It's like really nice. So they're an amazing company.
Talking about greatness, we have come to the best part of this, one of my favorite parts of the show, the gem section.
Okay.
So this is where we highlight something that we think that is inspiring and something really cool. It's called Gems because it's greatness everyone must see. So we share and we go around and we share what we think is great, what we think we've seen lately. For me, my gem this month is summertime. We're finally here. You're feeling the beautiful weather. You're feeling the good vibes in the air. You get a little bit more energy, man. I love the summertime, and the summertime is here.
Let's go. For me, it's free time, baby. I'm going to have more time at home with the kiddos, having fun and, just doing what I can do for them. Another thing that it's a highlight in my week is that we were able to give back to our community this week by showing out to an event, giving out some free frisbees to the kids, just celebrating with the community in the point. It was amazing. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to Irv.
Yeah, shout out to Irv.
Good job putting that together.
Yes, sir. And what is your gem?
My gem, the pressure's on. I don't need to say it into the camera. I'm going to piggyback off the summer thing because summer is a great start. It's another way just to recycle and to kind of start something fresh. And with the sun out, it just makes you feel better. And listen, the news out there is really tough as of late. Help somebody out, start fresh, and let's spread some positive vibes.
I think that's a great conclusion to the
episode.
That
a gem?
That was a gem.
All right, because I felt the pressure.
Yeah, you had it. But you know how to handle it.
The jam session always feels pressure to it.
All right, what's my gem? Do I have a gem?
Like, damn, sometimes I'm on the table, I'm like, yo, come back to me.
Pressure either builds pipes or creates diamonds.
You're right.
That's where we're at. That's what it is. Thank you for joining us today here at Straight to the Point. Always remember to like, subscribe, and follow. And always, peace, love, motion. Yes.